I think you're going to be very pleased with our speaker, Susan Annunzio. She's here to talk about what she calls contagious success.
25 years ago, I developed a personal mission statement. My mission statement was to demonstrate to senior leaders that treating people with respect and dignity is morally, ethically, and fiscally responsible. If what I believe in, if why you're in this room is really important, there has to be a way to prove it. And we got to be able to prove it with math, because we all understand it's the numbers today that count. Tonight, we're going to do three things. First, I'm going to take you backwards and look at where the world is, the world that you're operating in. You all know about the economic environment, but I want to put this in context because the world we're operating in economically is critical to understand. And secondly, I'm going to go over the research that we've talked about. And last, we're going to show you how you might be able to apply some of this information to your companies and maybe spread success. So what we decided to do was study knowledge workers' experience in their group, the group they affiliated with at work. You might say, why that? I'm going to ask you, how many of you, because I'm going to assume since you're in this room and you chose to come here tonight, that you're high potential, high performers and brilliant people. How many of you have had an experience where you've been in one group in a company and you love going to work every day and you did your very, very best work? How many of you have had that experience? Okay, just the people who have had your hand up. How many of you same human beings, you same high potential, high performers, have been in another group, maybe in the same company or a different company, where you hated going to work every day and you didn't do your very best work? So it didn't have a whole lot to do with how smart you were. It had some to do with what was happening at that group you were functioning in. So what we wanted to find out was, what were knowledge workers' experience in their group? Well, these knowledge workers weren't easy to find. We called 5.5 million people on the internet to identify over 3,000 knowledge workers, which is the largest number of knowledge workers ever studied at one time systematically and rigorously. 77% said, yes, we're part of a high-performing work group. And then we said, prove it. Give us some objective evidence. Does your group make money? From the years 2000 to 2004, did you consistently make money for your company and do something new? A new product, new service, new market, but we were so fair. A new way of doing business, a process improvement. Against that criteria, what do you think happened to this number? It went down. Yeah, it went down substantially. Only 10% could support the claim. That means 90% of the highest paid, best educated people from the top companies in the world were not making money and driving innovation from their firms. We heard story after story that sounded like this. Oh yes, our group used to be high performing, and then they cut our budget, cut our resources, cut our staff, and raised our target. There's this popular saying in business today that we have to do more with less. Our study wonders if we're not getting less with less. This speech tonight isn't about bad news, it's about good news. How do you make success contagious? Well, remember that 10% high-performing